Out in the vast, seemingly endless blue of the Western Pacific, there's a string of islands that looks like something out of a dream. This is Palau. But here's the thing. Before you can even step foot on its shores, you have to make a promise.
And no, this isn't just some friendly suggestion on a brochure. It's a mandatory oath. They literally stamp it right into your passport. It's a binding contract between you, the visitor, and the future generations of Palau. Think about that. No other country on Earth asks this of you.
So you have to wonder, right? Why? Why would a country go to such lengths? Well, the answer is found in a complicated history of war, an incredibly resilient culture, and a truly radical vision for what our planet could be. To understand the promise, you first have to understand the price of this paradise.
To really get why Palau is so fiercely protective, you have to realize that this peaceful, pristine place was once a violent crossroads for some of the world's biggest empires.
Just look at this timeline. For more than 100 years, Palau was like a pawn in a global chess game. First claimed by Spain, then sold to Germany, then seized by Japan, and finally captured by the United States. Its destiny was constantly being decided by others. It wasn't until 1994 that Palauans could finally, truly steer their own ship.
This number, 12,000, it represents one of the deepest scars in Palau's history. Back in 1944, on the tiny island of Palau, one of World War II's absolute bloodiest battles took place. Over 12,000 Japanese and American lives were lost, all for control of this little slice of paradise. The cost was just staggering.
And even with independence, the past still echoes today. Palau is a fully sovereign nation, right? But it has this special agreement, a compact of free association, where the United States handles its defense. It's this unique balancing act, total autonomy on one hand, and this deep, formal alliance on the other, all shaped by that long shadow of history.
So, forged in the fires of this history, Palau decided to lead the world in a totally new way. Not with a powerful army or a massive economy, but by protecting the one thing that gives it life, the ocean.
Let's jump to 2009. This is the year Palau did something that sent shockwaves around the globe. It created the world's very first national shark sanctuary. It was a bold move, and honestly, nobody had ever done anything like it before.
And the scale of this thing is just mind-blowing. We're talking about 600,000 square kilometers. To put that in perspective, that's an area roughly the size of France, an entire France-sized chunk of the ocean where commercial shark fishing is completely banned. For a tiny island nation, that is an act of incredible ambition.
But they weren't even close to done. A few years later, they doubled down, protecting a staggering 80% of their entire marine territory. That means no large-scale fishing, no extraction, nothing. It's a level of conservation that most other countries can only dream of.
Now, you might think this is just idealism, but it's actually incredibly practical. It's about economic survival. Palau's whole economy basically runs on tourism, especially world-class scuba diving. So for them, healthy coral reefs and seas teeming with life aren't just pretty to look at, they are the absolute bedrock of their nation.
But if you want to know where this powerful drive to protect comes from, we have to look past the politics and the economics, deep into the cultural heart of Palau. There's an ancient social structure here that's been the island's anchor for centuries.
You see, Palauan society is strictly matrilineal. So what does that mean? It means that everything, your family line, your land, your inheritance, even traditional titles, it's all passed down through the mother's side. This system influences every part of life, from who you are in your family to who becomes a chief. This system has been the glue that's held Palauan identity together. Think about it. While all these foreign powers were coming and going, bringing war and chaos, this matrilineal core provided stability. It was the one constant that preserved their culture, and it's still incredibly strong today.
Which brings us to the great paradox of Palau today. Here you have a nation that's basically acting as the conscience of the world. But at the same time, it's dealing with some really tough 21st century realities.
When you look at their economy, you can see the delicate balance they're walking. Tourism and fishing are, of course, vital. But see that other huge slice of the pie? That's foreign aid, and a lot of it comes from that same compact with the United States. It's this strange dependency right at the heart of their independence.
And here is the most painful irony of all. Even though Palau is a world leader in conservation, this low-lying island nation is on the absolute front lines of climate change. Rising sea levels, a crisis they did almost nothing to create, are now a direct existential threat to their very survival.
Palau's story really forces us to ask that question. It's a nation that saw the worst of human conflict, only to turn around and become a shining example for how to care for the planet. And yet, here it is, facing a threat that's completely out of its hands. That Palauan pledge is a promise made to a single island. But maybe, just maybe, it's a lesson meant for all of us.